What's up, dude?
What's going on?
This is it. I feel like I'm doing a podcast with one of the guys from Weezer or something like that, dude.
Wow,
You got
wearing
that look.
glasses?
You got that look, dude.
Yeah,
And
fucking
then-
nerd look. That's not a good look.
No, dude. Those are nice glasses, man. You know
The
what?
Rivers Cuomo look is not like a good look. That's not like a compliment you give to somebody. It's like, hey, you look like a dork in high school.
No.
Yeah, that's that geeky dork. That was like in the '90s when the rise of the the dorks. Remember, like the nerds that were starting to get. Oh, they're kind of cool too. They can get some.
Dude, I never seen dorks or nerds even starting to get laid until like modern times.
In movies though. Remember the '80s? All the Revenge of the Nerds. All the
Yeah, but that was so fake. That was like
Can't Buy Me Love. It was like the nerd gets the girl. Like
Yeah.
there was a bunch of that shit back in the 80s.
Yeah,
it
but-
never
but-
happened in real life though.
well, the Can't Buy Me Love guy. I mean, that guy turned into. I mean, he was a hunk. Like that's what they do. What they'll do
He
is
was kind of like for back, but yeah, he
yeah,
was-
like Can't Buy Me
he was
Love.
skinny,
Like, dude,
bony
yeah,
kind of
he
dude.
was
but
still like a hunk when he was young, and then he becomes like on Grey's Anatomy, and he's like McDreamy or something.
well,
like
he was
that.
wearing glasses. That's a move too. They
It's-
put you wearing glasses,
dude,
make you look like a dork.
It's the move
you know?
they do. They dress
Yeah.
you down. And
Yeah.
and then they pop
Take off
you
the
out.
glasses,
It's
and then
it's
you're
the
like,
She's All
"Oh
That
my
movies.
God."
It's the
They put a little gel in his hair, and then back in the '80s, they like pop your
It's like,
collar. And
wow.
it's like, whoa,
wow.
look at this dude. He's
How did
fucking hot.
who knew? I don't know.
Also, you ever go back and look at
She's
that movie?
only on the poster of the movie. I think it's going to work out.
Yeah, draped around his shoulders.
Right.
I wonder if he's gonna get her.
Yeah.
The girl. If you go back, I love that movie. It's probably one of my favorite '80s movies. Is Can't Buy Me Love. I love that movie. But it's that girl. If you go back and look, he paid.
That's the movie where he's like a lawnmower. He'd
he's
mow
mowing
lawns, and
lawns,
stuff.
saving up
and-
money for like a
and
car
then
or something.
He
and
makes
then,
a deal with that hot chick.
And then he makes the deal with the girl for like
Yeah,
$2
she
grand.
was
He's like
smoke
$2
show.
grand, and I can like we're going out for the.
Yeah.
And she's like, I think she messed up her mom's dress. She got like a stain on. She didn't want to know about it.
That's what-
And
why she did
It was
that?
something like that, yeah. And then she
I
had
never
to,
knew why she did
And
it.
then she goes to
I
the
thought she was
mall.
doing
She
it for the
goes
money.
She goes to the mall, and they're like, "That's gonna cost this much money," and she's like crying. And then he
didn't
hears
know
her.
that.
He's over like and sees her. And he's like, "Hey, $2,000. You like, I put my arm around your shoulder, and
Yeah.
we make it a scene." And she's like, "That's not gonna do anything." And next thing you know, he's like the most popular dude in school.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
Yeah,
but,
he's drinking his own Kool-Aid though, right?
But dude, if you look
he's
back,
getting all the chicks though. Remember
Yeah,
when he
that
was
girl-
getting all
that
the
girl
women?
is not
She
like,
was a smoke show, dude.
$2 grand. Come on. I mean, she's not.
No, the $2 grand in like '87.
She was cute, but she wasn't $2 grand. I mean, yeah, the inflation.
$2 grand in '87.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought
maybe
she was
maybe
80s smoke
80s
show.
smoke show, maybe.
You
yeah.
know? You know what?
80s
I was
smoke
into
show.
movies like, when I was a little kid, like you're talking like probably like 8 years before that. I liked movies like Manhattan Project. Like I liked those 80s movies that had like they were like spaceships and aliens and
Written by people who are on coke.
what was that movie? What was that movie where it was like Starship something.
The Last Starfighter.
The Last Starfighter.
Dude, that was a movie.
Great movie.
That was the
dude.
one he's playing a video game and he hits like the top level.
Yeah,
and
they
then all of a
come
sudden
down
the
and get him
spaceship-
and stuff, right?
Yeah.
He's in a small town. I love that movie, dude. I'd like to watch. The only problem is when you watch movies that you used to like when you were like a kid, and then you watch, like I did it with Rad
You should
BMX,
now.
like the BMX movie Rad. I just watched
Yeah.
it like 3 years ago, and I was embarrassed.
It's terrible.
That I was embarrassed. That's why like when I don't want to get into it, but I mean like just kids' decisions in general, and then you see what we used to be into, and you watch as an adult, you go, I was a moron. I
Dude,
used
yeah,
to like
you wonder,
this.
but was it just us because we were kids? I mean, adults were watching some of these movies that were horrible too. So it wasn't like we were just dumb kids. I mean, movies
Yeah.
just were shit when you look at them back now. A lot of the 80s.
I don't know,
mean,
dude.
Teen Wolf, a great movie, but if you look it back, it's kind of shit. I
Yeah.
mean, the makeup's shitty.
It's
the,
corny.
it's corny,
Teen Wolf
it's-
wasn't bad. Teen Wolf 2 was terrible.
Horrible, dude. Isn't that funny?
Terrible.
Like a Teen Wolf, like a wolf playing basketball, like cool idea. But a wolf, like wolf boxing, like get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Wolf can't box. Yeah, that doesn't
dude,
work.
Dude, what about the movie where the 80s movie or 90s movie where the guy took tanning pills and it made him look like a black guy and he
Soul
went
Man.
Soul Man.
So, what a terrible.
And he went
That's
to
what I mean.
he got
He
into
couldn't get into
college
college.
under like affirmative action or some
Yeah.
type program. And
And-
and totally couldn't do that now. Oh my god.
Oh.
You couldn't do Soul Man now.
Dude, like I went
Rachel
back a couple
Dolezal
years.
tried to do that, and they ran her out of town, dude. Remember that white girl that was
Yeah.
running the NCAAP somewhere?
Dude, they're talking about doing people like doing blackface for like a skit. This guy just doing the whole movie.
He did the whole
A
movie.
whole movie. They had a trailer and everything,
Yeah.
and like people went to the movie theater and like this looks like a good movie.
Dude, who pitched that movie? And they go, "Yep, we're gonna buy that.
They're like,
we're gonna
yeah.
buy that script. We're gonna."
I
do
think
it.
that was made by big like Paramount Pictures or
all
something.
those movies
They
were.
were like,
yeah, if we seen it, it
great
wasn't like
idea.
we were watching indie movies when we were like 13.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when indie movies started coming around. I remember some of those.
yeah, they weren't back then.
They
That's
weren't
right.
back then. They were like 10 years later. They like the indie movies that like really started pop. I mean, yes, there was indie movies,
Early
but
2000s
they didn't
some?
start getting hot until we were like in our like probably like late 90s, early 2000s when you started seeing some of those Robert Rodriguez type movies
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and other people like that.
And you know what? Those indie movies, they're all like most of them are just we don't have a like an end to this movie.
Yeah.
So many of those indie movies you watch and then it just goes to credits and like,
Yeah.
oh, we're just supposed to decide what happened in this movie. It's so
Yeah.
fucking stupid.
Dude, you know what was a game changer with like DVDs is when they started doing like director's cuts and they started like talking like inside baseball on the movie where
yeah.
like the director stuff and like interviewing him and saying like this scene and that scene.
We were gonna cut this scene, but then blah
Yep.
blah blah.
That was like a game changer. And I remember Robert Rodriguez. I had a buddy that was into movies, and Robert Rodriguez. I can't remember what it was called, but he would show you how he shot certain scenes, like how he would do like on a budget. Like there was a gunshot scene where it was like where he's shooting the gun, and instead of using a bunch of bullets, he just would zoom in on the front of that barrel and do one shot. And then just clip that thing like 30 times, that one shot, like da 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 da. So it
Oh,
looks like
really?
he's shooting it like 100 times. But
Wow,
stuff like
that's
that was like
yeah.
a game changer with DVDs. Now dude, I still buy DVDs. There's a junk store
Do
I
you
go
really?
to. Yep, there's a junk store I go to, dude, because I don't worry about it. But dude, if you want to see certain movies, you got to go through streaming platforms. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So like, if there's certain movies or certain like series that you liked, you're gonna have to pay a streaming platform always to see that. I mean, unless you buy it, unless you digitally buy it
different
or you
streaming
physically buy it.
platforms.
So people that like hold on to DVDs from like in the past with like they have a bunch of great movies.
Yeah.
That's one reason probably to do that.
Well, I mean, I think the reason now, like, I even think about it, like a DVD is just like I don't want to get up off the couch and put it in the fucking thing.
That's how lazy
People
we
don't
are
even
now.
have like a DVD player. Like, I don't have a DVD player.
I
I
got
can
a
put it
couple-
like in my PlayStation.
Well,
or
you got your
Xbox.
PlayStation, and I got a
Yeah.
couple DVD players around.
But
I got
if
one
you
down in
don't-
the basement on a shelf. you know?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're doing that, it's the same thing about like the thing in the car with the CDs. Like, I've talked before, like in podcasts, and you have too, about when they have them in the trunk. You have the 6 CD changer in the
Dude,
trunk.
6 changer in the
You're
trunk,
like,
dude.
you're putting that in. You're not going back to change those out for another like 6 months to a year. Like those CDs are staying in there. You're just rotating them like for July to fucking December.
I remember,
Like,
guys.
that
I remember you
YouTube
go over like
CDs
your
staying
buddy's
there.
house, and they're like their dad, or like maybe even them, or like their older sister would have like literally like 100 disc changer in their house.
Oh,
or
yeah.
like a 500 disc. I think there was like big ones. I ran into a few people towards the end there where it had that huge carousel, and
Mm-hmm.
they would pull them, put them in there, and then yeah.
And then you wait 5 minutes for it to switch over to the next fucking CD and
Yeah.
start playing.
The only argument, one of the arguments of like just doing it through streaming platforms now. I mean, I guess you could do it with like albums, but there were things on albums that you don't hear the B-sides. You don't ever hear the B-sides. Like you don't ever hear like the okay songs that are on an album, or you just hear the
Yeah.
hits. You just hear all of Prince's greatest hits. You don't hear any of
Yeah.
the middle tracks. And I get it. Maybe somebody doesn't want to hear like the middle tracks of like a
or the
Guns N'
shit
Roses
songs
album.
that they're doing in the studio, like Prince, that sucks. Like,
Yeah.
Where'd you? He's like, I was just
Or with all the hip hop, with all the hip hop freaking like rap CDs and stuff, they would do like interludes, and they would do like do like skits. You're not hearing that on any of this.
But think about this, like relate that to stand-up comedy. Like everyone's seen our shit at open mics, our bad shit, and hopefully we come up with a good shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
Prince or these music artists, they're doing it behind the scenes where only like 3 or 4 people in a studio are doing it in the garage. Hey, what do you think of this? Do. We're going out on the mic and like talking about like, expired yogurt in our fridge and our wife getting pissed or whatever. And like, we're like, is this funny? You know what I mean? Like, and people like seeing you, like it might be in front of 30, 40 people. So they're seeing our bad shit too. Like
Yeah.
that's what kind of sucks about stand up is
Yeah.
like compared to like at least music, it's kind of behind doors and like I only see your good shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Stand up comedy, like I saw this guy back on a Tuesday at this place. He sucked.
I don't know.
You
I
know?
bet yeah, that is very true. Because like when you're seeing a comic working out their stuff, you see that they are on the vulnerable side, and then you also see their weaknesses, or you look at him and go like, but in that argument also, like I've seen comics that, dude, I seen Kumail. I seen him when he was open micing it. You would have never looked at him and go, man, that guy's going to be a Marvel star or whatever he was. You're like, that guy's not. You didn't look at him. It's not like you looked at him and go, guys like that, and you go, he's not going to be nothing. But you would look at it and you go, I don't know, maybe yes, maybe no. It's with a lot of comics like that. Dude, Hannibal blew up and is the great Hannibal now.
Yeah, a lot of them like.
I remember when people were not a big fan of Hannibal. I remember people were talking crap about him in the back of the room. Seriously.
He was either hot or cold with crowds. He was like no in between. Like he's okay. People either loved him or they didn't.
Also with comedy, you're seeing people on the way up. You're seeing them on the way up. So yeah, if people are pointing
Especially
at somebody when they're barely getting altitude.
Camille and Hannibal both started in Chicago and then went to New York and then got big or whatever. But think about this too, going like back to the music thing. Is even when you go to open mics where there's music there, a lot of times they're doing cover songs of songs that already like are good.
Dude.
So you're not even seeing like their shit like stuff. Like here's one I just
One
made.
of the first open mics I blew up at, Jeb Cadwell was there, and it was right near Wrigley. I mean, it was like a block near Wrigley.
When you say blow up, what do you mean? Like
where I just
out?
like flip on the room and just like basically like just go off on everybody in the room and just start pointing at people like a crazy person.
Yeah.
And I tried something different where. I tried something different where it was the only time I ever did it, where I recorded a Led Zeppelin song that was just like kind of guitar playing, and it was real low guitar playing, and I recorded it a couple times, like long enough to do like an open mic set, and I took a little boombox, and I hit that, and then I was just up there just like talking with this over it. I was like, I tried it. I think it was the only time I ever tried
You're
it.
doing like an 8 mile just with stand up or something? Like
But it was real low. It's like doing a TikTok with like an acoustic song under it or something like that. And you're just like whatever.
Wait, what gave you this idea?
I just had this idea.
Yeah, let's try
I was like, let me try this. And
dude,
nothing, right? It was nothing, and people were like, somebody said something. Some people are. I think people a couple of people like said something like whatever it was, some snarky thing, and dude, I just ripped into him. I just was like, at least I'm like, because dude, there was up there people reading poems, because it was a big room. It was like it was just an open mic in general.
So it
wasn't a comedy
varieties.
open mic. So there before me there was people reading poems of like people that are like famous people and that already wrote poems, and they're just going up there reading the famous person's poem.
So stupid.
And then they were going up there like singing covers and stuff like that, and then that's what I ripped into him. I go, at least I'm trying something original. I go, this guy is reading poems that somebody else wrote, and you're giving him a standing O.
Did you point the dude out?
Yeah, I do. That's my move. I point him out. I'll point him out like this guy, this woman right here. This
I like that because I'm thinking that in the crowd too.
And then I'm effing the room, whatever like that, and then I'm just like, boom. And I go to the back. I go to the back of the room and I just start talking to Jeb. And Jeb goes, "Hey man, we better go out the back, otherwise." Like I was just chill. I was like, "I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving."
People whispering, like looking back at you.
Well, you know what? Yeah. I mean, I was like, I wasn't like I'm like.
That's
I'm
weird
not
for you
leaving.
because you're usually middle fingers out the front door, like right after you blow up.
Well, yeah, that has been
hung
my
in the
move.
pocket.
No, that time I was where
you
I
were
was
early
like,
on, like blowing up that you just didn't have the.
Yeah, because I have went off on multiple. I've went off at a bunch of open mics and stuff like that. Not a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've probably done that like maybe
What do you
like
mean not a lot compared to people that
7
have?
times or something like that.
Yeah, most people it's like 0.
Well,
I've never gone
dude,
out like that. But
one of my problems with like people at open mics and stuff that when you're like people don't realize like when you're doing stand up. And I guess at open mics also if you're doing music and stuff. But when you're doing stand-up, like, you're vulnerable. Like, dude, I'm telling you things that most people hide. And most people won't even tell them. Or they'll just tell 100%. Their best friend on a phone that's not being recorded or nobody knows about. They're always hiding their scars and their scabs. Dude, stand-ups, for the most part, if you're trying to do it right, you're showing people your scars and your scabs. You're going, look at this. Right. Look at this. Look what I did. Look what I did. That's not very complimentary of me, but I did that. And you're trying to make something funny funny out of it and trying to, whatever it is. Everybody knows what people are trying to do with stand up. And when people are, when you're generally trying to be I guess in your head you think you're being original, and somebody's like spitting at you, it's like, dude, we got a problem.
It's almost like opening your heart to, on a lesser level, but open your heart to your girlfriend and her just being like,
oh yeah,
just changing the subject on you and just like, so what do you want to watch on TV tonight or something? And you're just like, okay, I guess my heart's on the floor,
dude,
but like,
and I've went off on rooms, but I don't know.
And you went off on a room, and then they almost thought it was like an Andy Kaufman thing or something. Like they were like contacting you, like, oh, that was great. We want you to come back.
I went off on a room one time in the north side also of Chicago, and the dude was like, that was great. Come back next weekend.
Like, there was some avant-garde shit you pulled in there. You're like, I just hate you fuckers.
I hate you guys. I will never come back to that room ever again.
And you know what? Like the open mic scene too, it's like, if people don't understand it, it's the most miserable thing because the people there, most of them are depressed and miserable people in general.
And crazy people.
And crazy. There's so many.
Yeah, people don't realize.
I had a joke about like I was going to try out. And it's probably not going to work, but it was just an idea. And it was based on. So basically, I haven't told this joke since it's probably going to drop. I don't care. But it was basically like I said, I had a threesome over the weekend. It was me and Mindy and her bipolar disorder.
No.
Like I was trying to do try to make a thing with that different personality.
Yeah.
But even if that was a funny joke or whatever, I found the funny in it. Half the people at open mics have a bipolar disorder or are a mental disorder, or they're going to be like,
they'll take offense.
Oh,
to it.
so like you can't talk about that. I'm making a joke about something, or trying to.
Yeah.
So you're throwing yourself out there, and even it's all comics there for the most part anyway. So you can't even get a good reaction, and you just leave the place. Oh, I made 2 people laugh. That's a win for you there, dude.
I've left so many open mics in the past. I don't do it no more because I've gotten smarter. But I've left open mics where I was like punching my steering wheel going down the road.
Yeah.
Like literally with like a minute or 2 in the car where I'm just like, because I'm just mad at myself for even going there or doing it. Wasting your time. And it's just like, and just not being scared. Has nothing to do with like being scared of the room or nothing like that. It's mainly like wasting your time. And it's also out of frustration of like, out of the frustration of like, dude, I just want to work. I just want to work in front of real crowds. I don't want to do jokes in front of mostly comics and people that are unstable. I mean, because people don't realize, dude, how many. I've said it, man. Like open mics for like comedians and comedy scenes. It's like a lighthouse for like crazy people. Like it's something about it where they come. And I get it because
people use it like it's therapy, like it's a therapy session or something.
In the hang and the scene and stuff like that because they don't got any friends or they like the friends or maybe they think that like, oh, these are the people that I've always. And it's like, dude, beware of that because you'll get some you'll get some good buds out of it, but then the majority of it is just like watch it.
And I don't care if you have a mental disorder or whatever. That's fine. That's cool as long as you got it in check or whatever. But yeah, I got my shit too, obviously. But like, just be funny, dude, and just don't be like fucking scary. Like some of these people, like you said, like I don't know about this dude, so I'm gonna stay clear of him or whatever. So
well, dude, also the and it just became more and more as the years have gone. How it's just the comedy police, like some no name nothing that just started doing comedy 4 months to maybe 2 years ago, and then they're like the comedy police, and it's like I don't even know who you are. Get away from me. Like I said retard. Get away from me. I don't need to. We don't need to talk. We wouldn't. If you were my family, I would not even talk to you. Like you're a crazy person.
And there's a lot of like on Facebook, it's become these comedy stand-up boards or whatever or pages. It becomes this thing where they're becoming like almost so liberal or so like even politically charged or whatever that they're trying to control the narrative at like what's acceptable to do at open mics or what can do, and they all
and hunting men. Like they're always hunting men that, he's a this, he's a that. And I get it, man. If there's a straight up, I mean, I know there's been sexual predator type behavior in comedy scenes, but I feel like most of it that they're hunting, it's like this is a nothing burger. And they're doing it in all scenes. They're doing it in all scenes where it's like this is problematic type talk where it's like, dude, get out of here. I just came here to do comedy. I don't need to hear about this. I don't need to hear about support groups and stuff like that in a
Yeah, I
in
don't
an
want this to
open
be
mic freaking Facebook group. It's like, what is this?
It's a high school thing. Everyone's talking about like other people. Did you hear about what and this did, or that they're dating now and whatever? I'm like, I just want to come in here and tell my jokes and fucking get the fuck out of here. And I don't care about
I know.
Tina's dating Joe, or
I
you
know.
know, or they're in a fight or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Dude, what did you think about like you know, like I used to like U2 in high school.
You used to like U2?
Yeah, like when they
Oh
came
my
out when they
God.
came out with
What?
that Octoon Baby, or like that Numb song, when they went
I don't
like
know
he
those
put on
songs.
those big bug glasses like Bono,
yeah.
and then they were like changed their vibe or whatever. But now like they're the old rockers, dude. You know, but
Yeah.
they're cool. But you're thinking about like most rockers don't make it, or like even the ones that do make it, they still hold on to that rocker like kind of
Yeah,
vibe,
the
and
vibe.
still the long hair, the
Yeah.
like 20 gold chains and shit. But the ones that don't make it, dude, like they're still holding on that shit.
Yeah.
You see them and they're working at like Costco or Sam's Club or something.
You know what though,
Like,
dude? Because I see some of the old hair band guys that are holding on to that, but then also, in their defense, when people see them and then their whole lifestyle, like this is like my look, like that, and then also that's what people want. People don't want to hear, you don't want to hear like I don't know, man. Like I'm trying to think of it. Like you don't want to see Iron Maiden with like some dude that looks like he works at Apple. Like it's like, dude, keep the long
Yeah.
hair, keep that. But you're right.
But I mean, if you're like, I know one band that
But
was
you're
big
saying-
in
but you're-
Chicago, like a big emo band in the early 2000s.
Oh, really?
And they saw him like fucking stocking bananas at Sam's Club now, like because the
That
band went
sucks.
under. But or like these, you know, these festival bands that play, like they're still got like the Hairbangers Ball and all of them. They're still rocked out or whatever.
Yeah.
I want to know what their day job looks like, or you know, like trying to go to a job when you got your hair in a ponytail.
Who
And
knows?
you got
Maybe it's
this
wigged up. Maybe
silver
they
chain
got
on.
wigs and stuff like that, dude.
You have like, you know, 6 like silver fucking rings.
It
on your
sucks,
hands,
dude.
you know,
Because
like-
I follow Eddie Trunk on Instagram.
Who's
So
that?
Eddie Trunk, he's just like I don't know how to describe him. He's like I think he was a radio guy for a lot of years. So Eddie Trunk was, I mean, obviously he's a fan of like rock and metal and stuff like that, and music. And as a young guy, then I think he became like a radio guy, and he's all involved with that. He had that the metal show with like Flanagan.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
or
I remember that
Florentine
guy.
and whatever. And yeah, Eddie Trunk. So I follow him on Instagram, and I just seen like a week or two ago he was posting. They did like a festival somewhere of like, I don't know who it was. I can't remember off the top of my head what band it was. It was a big band, but it's not like the big bands. And of like, you know, hair metal guys.
Yeah.
Dude, and just watching it just was terrible.
It was.
It's just terrible. Maybe it was better if you were there, but like when you're watching it, it just looks like old dudes playing like,
yeah, it's
you
sad,
know.
isn't it? It's kind of like
no, it was. I think it was. I don't know if it was Striper or somebody like that, but it was like old dudes playing Striper.
like, and
music,
they got
you know,
like
the
a
band
fucking
Striper.
like gold pinky ring, and they're trying this. They're driving with, they're doing
It's-
pelvis thrusts and shit, and they're like 70 years
dude.
old. Like I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
And the crowd and the people that do want to see that, I don't. That's kind of gross too. Like the old lady who's like got the leather skin, tan skin.
You know, yeah,
she's like,
you-
yeah. Give me something. She's like still a groupie. She was like probably sucking dick, waiting in
Yeah.
line at a Def Leppard concert back in like fucking like gold pinky ring, and they're trying this. They're driving with, they're doing
It's-
pelvis thrusts and shit, and they're like 70 years
dude.
old. Like I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
And the crowd and the people that do want to see that, I don't. That's kind of gross too. Like the old lady who's like got the leather skin, tan
You know,
skin.
yeah,
She's like,
you-
yeah. Give me something. She's like still a groupie. She was like probably sucking dick, waiting in
Yeah.
line at a Def Leppard concert back in like fucking.
You know what's
84.
crazy is those dudes were gods though. Those
Who?
dudes were gods. All those hair metal guys and
Oh.
stuff at one time.
Do you know how much pussy? I think out of any decade, any
All of them.
bands,
Yeah.
the hair bands, they got this so much pussy, especially like Poison. Whatever. They were. That was when.
All
That
those
was when
bands.
everyone was dressed in like their hair was, they had like girl hair. They had like perms and fucking
Yeah, wearing the spandex pants and stuff like that,
spandex.
dude.
I mean, that's they were halfway the trans back then. Some of those
Absolutely,
bands. Like,
dude.
I mean,
You know what, man? I seen the first trans person I seen, like on the streets that was all dressed up, like of recently.
yeah.
I mean, I've seen trans in the past, but now that it's like a real thing in the last so many years, the first dude I ever seen that was dressed up like that, like probably like 4 years ago. I remember the first thought I go, that just looks like a dude from like the '80s hair band. I used to know dudes that
Yeah.
used to go to concerts looking like that. My Uncle Jim used to dress like that. He was in a band.
Did you pull him and
but-
say, "Hey, what band are you playing?"
No, he wasn't in a band though. I could tell.
You play guitar, drums. What are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, that is the truth, man. Right? Like where it's
Yeah,
like,
back in the 80s too. I mean, Poison, they went full like fucking
Yeah.
pedal down on the makeup and stuff too.
Yeah, they all were
They were
doing
using
that.
like that fucking
All
rosé
the-
or
yeah,
whatever
yeah,
on their
rouge and
cheeks,
stuff like
rouge
that,
on their, and like.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, just seeing them in the mirror getting ready doing the concert. But I mean, thank God they had hits. They went out there dressed like that. They didn't have hits. They didn't
Yeah.
have bangers. That would not be.
Yeah, they had.
They would
hits.
not work for you in the 80s.
Yeah.
Dude, you would be falling on your face. Like, I would. Yeah, it's weird. But that went away. That's when, like, the grunge and shit came in
Yeah.
and took that. I think everyone just had enough of it. I mean,
Dude,
you can only ride things so long.
Yeah, I remember when Metallica cut their hair. You know what's crazy
Oh,
is
yeah.
that doesn't seem that long ago, but I bet that was 25 years ago.
It's a pussy move. Like,
Yeah.
You know, no one in short hair can, like, yeah, like, Metallica is known for the head banging, and you can't do that with a short boy cut.
Whatever, dude. There's like here in Chicago, I think they sold out Soldier Field. I think that's next year. That's in 24.
Really?
Yeah, they got a couple. They're doing a couple nights. They're doing. I think Metallica's touring with Pantera.
They full on like sold out. You know,
I
there's
don't
something
know.
like about like having your favorite band and stuff, and then they're in video games, and then they're in like your commercials for like fucking
But
shampoo.
if you can get that money, why would you not get that money?
No, but I mean, they have tons of money though. I mean, it's not like they still need money. It's like they're just selling out just to sell out.
You know what? I think
they need
I think-
another guest
I
house. out
think
back or
they're
something.
afraid that people are going to forget about them. I think that's part of it. I think
You think so?
I think so. I think that they look at it like, look, it's a no-brainer. I got kids. They're going to have kids. You know, I want them to have a good life. And then also, I think they're afraid that, you know what? And they also look at other people doing it. Like, dude, everybody's selling their catalogs now. Do you know that? Like, that's
Yeah.
that's the move right now. Everybody's selling their catalog.
It
All the
might be
rappers
smart
are
if
selling
you're,
their
like,
catalogs.
streaming, because I don't know how much money they're making.
Well, they're
for
not
streaming.
making any money off streaming. You ever
I
hear
don't
those?
know.
Yeah, they're making comments of like, dude, you'll have 1 billion streams and they send you like a $30 check.
So like maybe
it's
selling
terrible.
your catalog's not a bad thing. I have a friend that like saw Guns N' Roses recently.
I've seen them a few years ago.
Yeah, a few years, but I guess now like it's finally like hit
Yeah.
the wall where they're not. You know, Axel's going out there. You know where you are.
Oh, dude, it's
And he's
terrible. I
just-
see his
this
TikToks. I
big belly
see
hanging
people,
out.
dude, on TikTok, and his voice is just gone.
I mean, that's a hard voice to keep in check, but especially when you're partying for.
Well,
40
you
years.
know another thing is, dude, when these guys write these songs that have like these like high notes when they're singing, I don't think they thought that like I'm gonna be singing this. If this is a hit, I'm gonna be singing it for 40 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
You're like, look, dude. I mean, in your head, like you probably think like, oh man, we're gonna tour with this. You know, maybe 10 years. Like, and even if you
Yeah.
do think 40, you're not really paying. You're not really thinking 40 years of like you're not.
No, that
but
you
dude,
can
and for these
breathe.
people to have to like keep that up for 40 years.
Dude, Axl Rose was hitting like Mariah Carey kind of fucking falsettos. Like,
Oh,
in
dude,
his
Axl
voice.
Rose was a badass when he was
He
when he was
like-
Axl Rose.
Oh yeah, like even that song "You Could Be Mine." He's carrying that last
Yeah.
note for forever. And like, yeah, try singing that when you're 80 years old.
Yeah.
It's too bad that him and like Axl and Slash didn't get their shit together and realize we could be making a shit ton of money until like they're almost like too old to fucking be cool anymore.
They could have been one of the greatest. Well, they are one of the greatest rock groups of all time. But they could
based
have been
off
really
basically, I mean,
two
basically
albums.
2 albums. But if we're really gonna break it down, one tremendous album, and then
Yeah.
they did the double disc. If they made that double disc into
Yeah.
one, and maybe just release that, and then the next one they just put
Yeah.
B-sides. I mean, that would have been.
But if they would have never stopped, like that's another
Yeah.
thing is like, dude, I mean, yeah, but they have one of the most that Appetite album is like one of the greatest rock albums ever.
Every song on that,
It's
Rocket Queen.
Yeah, it's
I
ridiculous,
love that
dude.
song. I like some
Yeah.
of their songs that never were hits on that album.
Yeah,
Probably Rocket Queen is my favorite song on that
Yeah.
album, man. I mean,
really.
yeah, what Mrs. Brownstone was
Yeah.
that one? That
Yeah.
was a fucking good one. They're all
Dude.
bangers.
Paradise City, dude. I remember
Paradise.
when that video premiered on MTV of
The black and white Paradise
no,
City.
Welcome to the Jungle, dude.
Oh, really?
I remember when Welcome to the Jungle was first came
That-
out. I don't know if I
that
seen
first
the
came
first,
out. That
but
was
I'm
in a
saying when it-
movie.
Really?
It was a song that was like a shitty like movie released. So if you watch the video, yeah, for that, I think it's in the video where they
Yeah.
have part of that movie clips in there.
Really?
Yeah. Originally,
Dude,
from,
I
don't
was
remember
in,
the
I
movie.
tell you what, when I was a kid, right before hip hop, before rap, I didn't even call it hip hop until I got old. But like it was always rap. You know,
Yeah.
and but dude, before rap came into my life, dude, I loved all that hair metal shit, dude. All of
Oh.
it. All of it.
Ricky Rackman, remember that on MTV?
Yeah, I didn't fuck with him too much.
Hairbangers
Yeah,
Ball?
but
I
I'm
used
just
to
talking
watch
about
that stuff.
the music in general, where it was like, man, I fucking loved that.
Oh,
I
I mean,
loved
it was
like
plus you had your uncle
Judas
taking you.
Priest. Yeah, so I had an uncle that's like only like 4.5 years older than me. So and he dropped out of school in like 8th grade, so he was already like
just to go more.
he was
more
already already going towards wildlife
Yeah.
at a young age. So he would just throw down like all his stuff that he's coming across and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And yeah, man.
So he was only 4 years older than you. He'd take you to
Everything that he
concerts
was
and
into,
stuff?
I would see what he was into. Like I was like, oh, all right, this is cool, huh?
Yeah.
like that type of stuff. So
Really?
all that music and stuff, yeah, man.
So was he like also since you're a little older, you like go to the concerts, he'd buy beers for you and stuff? It's,
Never, you know what, dude? He would never buy. He never did that. He never.
Really?
Yeah, dude. He took me to concerts. We never did whippets. We never smoked weed. He didn't do drugs around me. He didn't drink around me when he was doing it.
I thought that would for sure be like what would happen.
You know what?
Especially
I'm
back,
glad he didn't know, man.
Well, I
'cause-
mean, yeah, but if you drop out of school early, and
dude,
you're
I
like,
got introduced to like
partying.
alcohol pretty early. I got introduced
Did
to
you?
weed pretty early. Yeah, man. Like
when did you first start drinking?
I started drinking when I was probably like 14 or something like that.
No shit.
Yeah, 14. And then I liked it. Like, dude, I should have been an alcoholic like probably like 4 times in my life.
Right away,
Because
you liked it.
I
Like,
liked it right away. I liked
Beer
drinking
or what'd you
beer.
have?
I was drinking beer, and then we were drinking all whatever we can get our hands on. We were drinking Mad Dog. We were drinking Cisco. We were drinking Boone's Farm. We were drinking
The fuck is Cisco?
E&J. It was a little cheap gas station liquor type
Oh,
thing
okay.
that was going around. And we were drinking screwdrivers, drinking gas station screwdrivers, all that gas station liquor, dude. We would drink that, and a lot of beer, man. A lot of
Dude,
beer.
Screwdrivers. That's like the
Fucking orange juice.
yeah. That's definitely the raging alcoholics like came up with that drink, like
Yep.
that morning drink, like. To get the shakes down, like
Dude.
orange juice, put some vodka in it. Like
Not
no
a
one's-
bad
No
drink,
one's doing
though.
a nighttime like screwdriver drink. You're nuts doing an OJ
Yeah,
and fucking
yeah.
vodka.
That's
at
true.
9 p.m. No, that's like you're pouring your fucking bowl of nuts and honey, and then you.
I
pour
never
yourself
thought of
a
it that
glass
way,
of
but you're right. I guess.
orange juice and put some vodka in there.
But
That's
at one time, I assumed that people were drinking those are screwdrivers. So
not at night though, right?
they're
Like,
drinking
I
in the
mean,
afternoon, maybe.
Yeah,
They're drinking them-
unless you're trying to get over a cold or something, need some vitamin C.
I
You're
don't
not-
know.
No, that's a waking up,
Yeah.
get the shakes.
Yeah.
The shake, you
Yeah.
you can't lift the spoon without the shakes.
But that's what we were drinking, dude. And I could have been, dude. A lot of I'm no lie, man. A lot of kids I went to high school with that were my buddies and we were drinking with.
Yeah.
By the time they were 19, a few of them were already like full blown alcoholics, and then by the time we were 21, a few of them were already like into coke. And they were already, because they were already started early on the drinking, jumped on the weed,
Yeah.
jumped on some other shit, and then they jumped on, and then a lot of those kids I grew up with also, they started drinking so early, and then obviously weed was early, and then coke came like when they were like in their early 20s, and then they smacked right into freaking Oxycontins when they were like 27 or 28. And then yep, and then that bumped them into heroin and stuff like that. A few kids I grew up with.
It's crazy how you
Yeah.
go up that ladder and it always ends with like
Yeah.
fucking opioid or
Yeah.
some kind of drug, and that's where it takes you out.
Yeah.
Fentanyl or like Oxycontin or all of those, and now they're just everywhere. And then you find out like 10 years later, there's all these like now like TV shows and documentaries about this stuff's really bad for you and like all that. And like, yeah, no shit. They're hiding. They had you're in the fantasy football and stuff, but
Big
I was thinking
time.
about like, since I'm single now, or
Well.
talking about like if we were like a fantasy for like single guys, like drafting, like what do you think, like someone my age and like or where I'm at, or like I'm in good shape and stuff, I'd probably be like like what do you think I'd be like for my age, and
It
how like
just
I'm in like a
depends.
first rounder maybe? Do you
It
think
just
like it'd be
it depends.
what do you I think maybe like a late first rounder I'd be. Like
I don't
maybe-
know. It
like,
depends
I mean,
on
I'm-
ages. It
I
depends
work
on
out.
ages. Are you talking like
I'm people like around my age, like let's
Wait,
say,
wait,
let's
wait,
not,
wait,
let's not
wait.
say my age,
Are
but
you,
let's just
no. If you're talking about like if there's like a fantasy single person draft and there was like 20-year-old guys in there and 24-year-old guys,
No, I'm talking maybe 30 and over. Then listen. Let
30
me also
and
say,
older?
Let me say this: never been married, no kids. That's like that's a big thing, right? That's
that is
I have
a big
no
thing.
I
You
have
don't
no
got much
battle
baggage.
scars.
Yeah.
no battle scars.
Yeah.
I keep myself in shape.
There's no ex-wife. There's no child support. There's no
Yeah.
alimony.
I
There's no
don't-
kids that are going to give the person that you date an attitude. So
I don't have a weird scar on my face or anything.
I would.
so
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about this, dude, you're
what do
probably
you think,
like
late first rounder or like
no way. You're talking 30 and up.
no. Well, let's say 35 and up now. Let's say 30.
35 and up.
Let's say like around 35 people. Most people have already been married, or kids. So 35 and up. Do you think?
I think you're like an early third round, like a early third round.
like an early third round. Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
early third round. And if you felt if you like slipped into the second round like mid second, I'd go, yeah, that's not surprising. Somebody took him in the
Really?
second.
Like someone traded up. Like
You think you're a first rounder?
Well, I mean, I said late first rounder. I'm saying like 19th, 20th pick. I'm like
Out
this
of
is
all the 35-year-old single people, because I mean,
no,
you,
maybe
you,
we're thinking too early. age,
you,
but
you could have like a
just
doctor
someone-
or a lawyer that was just like going to school and then they got out. Now they're working for like what? Now they're like, I need to find me a wife
So
and
what?
get me some
Okay, let's
kids.
say
So
like
you're
right
competing
around
with those.
40. Let's just
Now,
say
if
right
you're
around
competing
40.
with those guys, you're like a fifth. You're like a sixth rounder, dude, mid sixth rounder. If you're competing with those, so you're talking about over 40.
No, I'm saying like let's say round 40 then.
Okay, so now we're doing 40s. Yes, you are probably
Does that
like
keep
a
lying about
early
my age?
early second round.
Early second round.
Early second round easy. I think.
But
you're
what about,
right.
like, someone
12 team league though?
Someone in Joliet might trade up to take me in the first round.
So you're saying like,
Like
in
if,
a lesser of a town. I'm talking. I was grading you from Chicago.
Okay, Chicago. Yeah.
But if you're saying if you're doing it out in like a town that's not
well,
so
I mean,
hot,
well, I mean, someone
like a
let's
Youngstown,
say different-
Ohio, or like a
let's say these
Joliet,
towns
Illinois,
are
or
teams. Like Joliet's
like
a
a
team.
Buffalo, New York, or something like that.
Romeoville's a team, so they might be like ding 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 ding, and they like.
Well,
there's been
if
a
you-
trade.
look, if you're gonna go to like lesser towns and leave Chicago over 40,
I didn't
yes.
choose it. Someone traded up and
No,
took me.
you would definitely be in the first round, but that's not saying much.
That's what I'm talking.
There's not saying much. I
Like-
mean, but yeah, like if
With-
you're out of Chicago,
The 17th pick in the first round, Joliet.
yeah.
That's right.
yeah.
What do you
Well-
think you would be if you were single? Like if you had to get like a divorce now because you have a kid.
Because I
you're
have a
married.
kid. I have
only been
I have
married
an
once.
almost 3-year-old. I've only been married once.
You got to. I mean, you
Yeah.
got a good personality. You're not bad looking.
I'm not lying, dude. If I had to guess, I would probably be like a 10th, 11th, 12th rounder.
Do they even go that many rounds?
I think so. Yeah, they go that rounds. Those are when you start to take like when you're doing fantasy. That's when you start to take like
No.
like defenses and kickers and stuff like that.
What do you think if you didn't have any baggage? What round would you go in? Round for
Over
your
40.
age.
Over
yeah,
40.
Over 40.
Still probably like a 5th, 6th round. It just depends
Fifth,
on
sixth
who
round.
scoops me and stuff like that, and what,
Yeah.
what circles I'm in. You know, and,
That's
and
true.
if I did fall to like maybe a 4th rounder, like a late 3rd, I wouldn't be surprised, but I wouldn't bet on it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you know, like I'm not Mr. Irrelevant. I mean, those are I wouldn't think I'm Mr. Irrelevant. But
I think you could go in like an earlier round just based
Like a
on
ninth
if you got
to
a good
12th.
if you got like a good personality and you can talk like that holds up for a lot
yeah,
too.
but the problem is, you know, even at our age, we're competing with money too. Like there's
yeah,
people
the
that
money
are like
side.
they got
I didn't
money.
want to mention that. That's
Yeah.
I mean, if someone's money,
of
you don't even
course.
have to be good looking.
Yeah,
you
if,
just,
you-
like,
if
pull
you
out your
got
wallet.
money and then you do have some kids and stuff like, but dude, you know what, man? Like, I see people that are like dating at these ages and stuff, dude. And look, I know I'm speaking out of. I tell you what, dude. I feel like people when they get older and they're dating, and they're dating older people and stuff. I feel like it's a bunch of broken toys out there, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the people that are dating when you're older, it's a bunch of broken toys. And I know that doesn't sound, you know, very polite.
The first date is all of you like putting out your everything on the table kind of thing. You know,
Dude.
like what
So-
do you have that's
So that is it. I mean, so if you're not that bad of a broken toy, that could make your draft pick go up higher. Because
Yeah.
that's what they're dude. People that are out there dating, especially
Well,
at
that's
an older
why I
age,
was
they
trying
see
to-
it where they go, "Oh my god."
That's why I was trying to rate myself a little higher. It wasn't
You're
based
dating
on like
crazy
me.
people.
It wasn't me like based on like I'm a really attractive person. It was more based on I don't have any baggage for an older person, and I try that I work out, and I think I have a decent personality, so I
Dude,
could go like
that's you know what I'd like to see. I'd like to see the first rounders, 12-team first rounders for like women that are just from 20 to 25. I would love to see the pictures of those women.
you mean that who guys would pick? Or
Yeah,
what
like
the-
no, I
or
like
girls
you know,
would
women,
pick,
like
what
women
guys.
20 to 25 that would go, hey, you know, she's definitely a first rounder. I would like to see that that power ranking. I would like
Oh,
to see
yeah.
that, you know,
Yeah,
because
that would be.
you know,
Yeah, it'd be interesting. So you're saying like what the girl?
smoke shows.
Yeah,
just
just
line them up.
complete
Bop,
smoke
bop, bop, bop,
shows.
bop, bop.
I mean, if you're basing on, didn't they say like 23 is like the age that
Yeah,
is the
23, 24.
most attractive,
Yeah,
or what?
I think
people,
23. Yeah,
if they did a survey or whatever. So yeah, it would probably be. What do you think would go? Yeah, it'd probably be. I think big boobs probably goes higher ranked.
not too big.
Do you think?
No,
No,
then
not
it start,
too big. Oh, of
because then it
course not.
starts working against
Well,
you.
what do you think? Like more? I think more guys are in the boobs than ass.
I don't know. It depends
I
on who you
mean,
talk
it-
to, buddy.
They're both like pretty even, but I think boobs, if we had to add the ring.
Well,
But you know what? Like
it's always
you
a seller.
can-
That's why you see
you can
so many-
kind of get yourself to get a good ass, right? If you put the work in,
Dude, all of it, boobs too.
the boobs you can't unless you get fake boobs. You
No.
can't just work out and get good boobs. Like boobs are coming what you're born with.
Are you kidding me? They're getting fake breasts.
Yeah, I'm talking about fake. Yeah, but fake look like shit.
Not all the time, bud. Sometimes,
A lot of times
I
they
don't
do.
know. I don't know, and I don't know too many dudes are
I mean, if
kicking
they
those
can't-
out of bed. I'm telling you, man.
I don't know. I've been with some fake.
You know
boobs
what looks
before.
funny?
It's not-
You know what looks funny, dude, is when you see women with those Brazilian asses that they get, those fake asses. Those look odd.
I don't even understand. Yeah, those look. You mean the ones where they just look like they're inflated and just
Yep.
blown up?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. And do guys like that? I
Yeah.
don't think any guys would like that.
I don't
It's
know,
like
dude.
Trying to show off for other girls.
I don't think dudes are kicking them out of bed either.
I don't know. Fake boobs is like a big turn off for me. I don't like.
Turn off.
I'd rather see some floppy pancake titties in bed than some fake boobs that don't move.
That
I would
doesn't
like
make
to
any
see
sense, dude.
A couple like a mom that's had 3 kids drain out her boobs.
No way.
Like, but they're still there, and
That-
they're
you
swinging
say
like
that,
old tire
and then
swings
if you
in the
had a
backyard.
couple kids that the kids done drained out their pancake their tits, you would not like it.
I'd rather have that than these firm things that are like rocks on their chest that don't move. Dude,
I
I
don't
was
know.
like, there's some. I've been with some girls that like fake boobs. Where one of them they have like wonky nipples, like the nipple like one's higher than
Yeah.
the other. You know?
Yeah.
So they're like, that's not good either. Like
Yeah.
you don't want to be like with wonky boobs. Wonky eyes, one thing, but
Yeah.
you got boobs that aren't even like centered right. Like that's. I don't know.
Dude, they're
Have
not.
you been with fake boobs before?
No.
Yeah, so you don't like it's not
It's not what it's,
it's
all
like a
cracked up to
mannequin
be.
or something.
Really?
Yeah. If you notice like when you get older, I don't know if it's happened with you, but when I when I take a piss, like I have to shake a lot more. Like it just seems like the pee's just Dude, I'll shake
old, dog.
and shake and shake and then I'll put my wiener back in and then I'll notice that still like I'm still fucking drip pee in my fucking underwear. Have you ever had that?
Duh.
Yeah, like, but that didn't happen when you're younger. It's like 2 shakes and you're done.
Are you
And now,
kidding
like
me?
when you're older, it's fucking like a drippy dick now.
Dude, everything's old. This stuff
Dude,
is
it's
this stuff's
fucking-
all old, man. This ain't new. These are not new parts anymore,
Dude,
dude.
I'll tell you, like after I take a shower at night, I put toilet paper on dab my wiener. I put it in there with my underwear so I don't
told
like
you,
drip.
dude. I
It's
told
like
you I've
a-
been dabbling. I've been.
It's like a
dude,
little
that was
tampon
like
for
that,
my penis.
There was that joke I had years ago where I was saying that joke 15, 17 years ago, where I'm grabbing toilet paper, I'm dabbling the end of it like that. I'm tinkling like a little big girl or like a big girl.
Were you really?
Yeah, I've been doing that for years.
Really?
Well, I don't do it like that every time. I mean, a lot of times I just take a piss, But yeah, welcome to the world, bud. What are
Well,
you
it's
talking
better.
about?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I want to be after shower, put on clean clothes. I don't want to have fucking little dribble dick. Like
No,
you
it's
can't
just
help it
part of
though.
It's part of the game, man.
Yeah, but then I'm at the fucking urinal too, like at the movie theater, and then I'm shaking my dick. It looks like I'm jerking it at the urinal. Like you don't want to shake it too much.
What are you talking about? Nobody's paying
Remember,
attention.
everyone
to that.
always said like you shake it more than twice. You're flicking around with your wiener in
I
there.
never heard that.
You
Really?
didn't hear that? Yeah.
Who the hell's talking about that, dude?
I
Really?
don't know. Fucking people in Joliet, maybe. I
No,
don't know.
dude. I'm telling you. Look.
Dude, I'm serious.
Uh-uh.
Really? Like
No.
that's getting old though. But I'm like, I guess
old,
that happens to women too. Like when after they have
yeah.
a kid, like I heard, like it's
Yeah,
hard
because
to
the
stop
kids
to pee.
because the kids like laying on their bladder and stuff like that, and it damages them.
Yeah, so then you
dude.
can't.
Yeah.
Like even when they laugh, a little pee comes out.
That's why like women that have like multiple kids. My wife has one kid, and she said that he banged her body up big time. She goes,
Really?
Yeah, dude. And that's why like women that have like 3, 4, 5 kids. I couldn't imagine. Seriously.
Oh my God, yeah. I
You're
didn't even
carrying
think
those
about
kids
that.
for that long and stuff, and they're laying on things, and they're, dude.
Yeah, you probably can't hold the pee back.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably when you have to pee, you gotta go, or you're gonna just it's gonna be a mess.
Well, that's why when you get older, you start pissing yourself. That's why they wear the diapers, dude. You're. This is the first step of you basically pissing yourself.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's just your. That's true.
It's 100% true.
Yeah, I
You
didn't
don't
even
think that they
about
were
that.
talking to their buddies 70 or 35 years ago, and they go, man.
Yeah, when
I
we were
used to just
talking, like
dabble it.
when I'm 70, I was like, I can't believe I a little like come out and pee like
Yeah.
after I go, and then when I'm pissing myself while I'm watching TV,
Yeah.
I'm 70, and like, oh,
Yeah.
not even know I'm going. That's the
Dude, I
fucking way.
don't even know if I want to live that long, dude. I talk to people that take care of old people, and it don't sound like it's very enjoyable. It sounds terrible.
Well, I mean, that's another thing about trying to take care of yourself.
Dude, they're getting dementia. They're getting schizophrenic. It's like, this sounds not very cool.
No, like once it gets to that point,
I want to
but-
go out like Eddie and the Cruisers. You know what I'm saying? I want to go like Eddie, right? old 50s Chevy off the bridge.
Yeah, that's how you want to go.
Yeah, dark side.
But how old was he when he went out? Like when he died?
He's
Fucking mid-20s?
supposed to be in his mid-20s, but that guy was like 38 or something like that who played it.
Not me. I
Dude,
wanted.
that was the movie. You ever see Eddie and the Cruisers?
Nah, if I did,
What?
it was a long ass time ago.
Yeah, you would remember Eddie and the Cruisers if you never seen
I've
Eddie
heard
and
of
the
the
Cruisers.
movie, but I can't remember. I don't have a good memory.
I can't believe you didn't mess with Eddie and the Cruisers, dude.
No, I was watching Can't Buy Me Love and the fucking
Dude,
Teen
Eddie
Wolf.
and the Freaking Cruisers was a classic, dude.
What-
That's
what-
another
was that
movie
a-
they don't play enough of.
That wasn't when was that movie made?
It was like an 80s movie.
That was an 80s movie? Yeah. Well, I mean, I watched the movies that were like, a bunch of like Revenge of the Nerds and fucking those movies. I didn't watch those Back to the Future.
Nerds. The Revenge of the Nerds was like okay. That like it
wasn't
was
great.
it was a classic movie, but like when I watch it now, I go, this is like okay. I mean, it's
A lot of those 80s movies is like you'd always wait for when the tits would pop out.
Oh,
like
yeah.
remember there was always like a tit scene, like especially in the
Dude.
comedies. There was always
Porky's.
Porky's. Talking about a movie, it's like how can we make a soft porn movie where we can get the families to go to the
Oh,
theater and
yeah.
watch?
Dude, you know, it was one of my favorite movies that popped out tits was Mischief. It had John Travolta's wife when she was young in it, popping
Really?
her tits out. Yeah, Kelly Preston. Oh, dude, that was the best.
She popped him out in that?
Yeah, Mischief. She
Oh,
was a
wow.
smoke show.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh, dude, Mischief. That was a great movie.
Dude, there's like a website that it's called
Yeah.
like Doctor something.
That's
where,
been around forever.
Right, where it sells like the
Yeah.
scene and the like exact.
Yeah, but guess
account
what?
when
You
the
don't even
boobs were in.
need to do that. You just need to Google. You just need to.
Well, nowadays,
Google
yeah.
Kelly
I mean,
Preston,
that was back.
tits movie.
That was probably like early internet where you had like you're still using your DVDs and VHS.
That's
It's
true.
Like at minute 14 and
Yeah.
30 seconds, Demi
Duh.
Moore pops out her.
Nobody
her
just
left
said,
boob.
"Hey, just show them like the thing."
Yeah. And then like it's definitely
Just do
guys
the
running
Google
that
image.
site. No girls are like perverts like that.
Yeah, yeah. No women's like, okay, we gotta.
Do you want to see this guy's dick? And
That's definitely a guy thing, right?
yeah, like and yeah. Well, then I guess guys' dicks didn't pop out too much back then. You've
Now
seen it
they're
a lot
everywhere,
more.
though. Now they're
Yeah,
everywhere.
now they're-
dude. I'm just like, ugh.
And it's not even they're not even like well endowed. People
Yeah.
are just popping them out. It's like, all right, like what do we need to fucking doing?
That's what they got a mission, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but that's why guys are we're big perverts. Like
Yeah.
that's where we're the creeps we are.
Yeah, but it's like it's who we are, dude. That's there's a reason
Right.
why that.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
if we weren't like this, they would have a problem with it too. I mean, they like being pursued. Like they act like that women don't like being pursued at a certain age and a certain point in their life. They still like
Yeah.
it. They still like it. Like, dude, like you're telling me that older women that are kind of losing it, that like a little bit in the age and the looks and stuff, that they don't like guys like that are probably attractive saying like, "Hey, what's up?" You know?
Yeah.
They like it then too. So it's so funny how they act like it's like, look, yeah, guys are creeps, but you should be happy that we're creeps and that we have this
Right.
in us, like this in us. I'm not saying this stuff that's like illegal, but I'm saying like they should be happy that we have this dog in us which is biological, and because you guys like it
Right.
that way. Don't act like you don't like it.
yeah, and like I said, they want some of that
They want to be chased.
after. They want to be chased
They
after.
100% want to be chased. They
And-
want attention. That's all it is. They want attention. Women want attention. I don't know what guys want. I mean, we want respect and we want peace and we want stuff like that. And obviously, we want attention in a certain way. But like women definitely want attention. And they want it from the right person too. I mean, there's guys that give women attention that they don't even see. That they go, don't give me attention. Because they don't look, they're not attractive or.
Well, that's why
they're not their
sometimes it
type of
takes
guy.
them an hour before they leave the house. They put on all their makeup and stuff because they want some attention, right? I mean,
That's it.
I mean, why like?
Yeah.
And then you give them like. That's what I was saying. It's just to draw you in.
Yeah.
At least not. I mean, some people maybe in a creepy way, but also just to get a dude maybe, or just to like make other like girls like think they're
doing a lot
cute.
of it for women, dude.
Yeah.
They're doing
Like
a lot
this
of it for
fashion
women.
and stuff.
100%.
It's cute for women or whatever, but guys aren't
Dude, they're
into
wearing
it.
stuff that guys that like you're wearing stuff that is not complimentary to you, and a guy's
Right.
not looking at it going like, oh, that's a cute outfit. Guys, we're real basic, man. We know when something looks cute or
Want
whatever like
something
that, and it's
tight.
showing it
I don't
off.
want like a loose blouse.
Yeah, that's
I don't
it.
want like these wavy slacks or whatever you're wearing.
Yeah.
I want a tight dress.
100%.
Let me see the curves.
Yeah.
But they're trying to wear all these like beige and white
Yeah.
outfit. I want like put some black
100%.
leather on. So like
Yeah, right.
or some like tight,
Yeah, look like Sandy from Greece.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, let's get out of here, man.
I guess you can find me. I'm just back on TikTok, the Pathetic Diabetic, and
Yeah.
Instagram is RyAndrew76.
And I got 2 TikToks. I got one where I talk BMX, and then I got one that I talk about black people all the time. So Eric Pinnell Comedy is the other one, and then the other one doesn't exist. But guys, thanks for listening, man.